Namaste, Jai Hind, and welcome to this edition of The Right Stand. I'm Anand Narsimhan. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a nation that claims neutrality but is playing a dangerous double game when it stands exposed. It's taking contracts to manufacture weapons and arms for NATO forces to be sent across into Ukraine while filling up its own coffers, its parched coffers. While on the other hand, it is going and telling Russia that we are on your side and we want to buy cheap oil from you, while telling the world we are neutral, we are not getting involved in this altogether. This game is dangerous and it's a double game, and of course, past masters at deception stand exposed yet again. We begin this edition of The Right Stand with a super news break, an exclusive here on CNN News 18. Cash-strapped Pakistan is looking for ways to make some money, and the nation's military sees an opportunity in the Russia-Ukraine conflict. CNN News 18's exclusive today is not about the role of Western nations in the Russia-Ukraine conflict, but Pakistan's deep and deceptive involvement in the Russia-Ukraine conflict to serve its own selfish interests. This conflict exposes, and the exclusive here exposes to the world, Pakistan's practice of adopting double standards and betraying its allies. This game of deception stands exposed tonight. What is this double game? Pakistan has been adopting a public posture of neutrality in the Russia-Ukraine war, especially in the international platforms, and has been advocating ceasefire as well as mediation and negotiations. But it's actually supplying arms to Ukraine via air bridges. Ammunition manufactured in Pakistan's ordnance factories have found their way into the Ukrainian arsenal, which are being fired upon the Russian forces. Intelligence sources telling News 18 that on the one hand, Pakistan is supplying these arms and ammunition to Ukraine. On the other, Pakistan is wooing Russia for discounted crude oil. It's already started buying discounted crude oil from the Russians. Question is, don't the Russians know? So this is how it's happening. Sometime in August, we are given to understand, between the 6th and the 15th of August, there was an air bridge, 2022. There was an air bridge that was created. These air bridges were from Pakistani air base to nations like Romania, Poland and Germany, which is proving to be service conduits into Ukraine. The final endpoint is Kiev. Pakistan allegedly is supplying arms to Ukraine using the Nur Khan air base and also the Karachi port. So from the Nur Khan air base, it goes to a British base in Mediterranean. From there, it is going into Romania, or from the Karachi port, it's finding its way to Germany and to other nations like Poland. And from there, it's finding its way into Kiev, into the arsenal. Intelligence sources saying Nur Khan air base in Rawalpindi, part of this arms route. Pakistan is also now going forward. It has entered into a contract with the British to service and provide nearly 340,000 projectiles. Rockets, Yarmouk rockets to Ukraine via the Nur Khan base. That's what it's going to ship. Intelligence sources also saying that Pakistan will increase production at its ordnance factory in Wah. And all this is to generate foreign exchange for a cash-strapped, parched in its coffers Pakistan, and somewhere help its economy revive. But the fact is, it's not neutral. Do the Russians know this? Will Russia be supplying cheap oil to a nation that is actually manufacturing arms, which is going to be fired by a nation and forces which are inimical to Russia? Bigger question, is Pakistan really neutral here? Pakistan's arms and ammunition in Ukraine, a 120mm mortar, high explosive cartridges are being reportedly in Ukraine. Part of the POF, they've got the POF markings, MBRL rockets, detonators, primers, fuses, and of course the M107 155mm projectiles. The Anza Mark II man-portable air defense systems are also going to be manufactured in Pakistan and then shipped to Ukraine. And this is a contractual obligation they have to take because they need the money. There is pressure from the West that they need to build this, manufacture this, but they're not supplying it to the country that's contracting it to manufacture. It's going via an air bridge conduit and finding its way into the NATO-backed conflict for Ukraine against Russia. So why does, on the other hand, Pakistan need Russia? The first reason is quoting Russia for the past few months to clinch a deal to import Russian crude oil at cheaper prices, as well as to obtain the much-needed spares for its military hardware. Again, Pakistan and Russia are discussing building a gas pipeline. So this is a strategic engagement that they are getting into. So they are batting on both sides. And does the other side not know? This double game, Pakistan is a past master in playing this game of deception. And right now, tonight, we are exposing this double game here on CNN News 18 on the right stand. Recently, during her India visit, Ukraine's Deputy Foreign Affairs Minister, Emin Zafar, confirmed that her country has had military contracts with Pakistan for decades, which was established during the 1990s. Listen.
Ma'am, there is media reports that Pakistan is supporting Ukraine through military equipments, military containers. Is it true?
We are not putting this question in that way that relations with Pakistan is not targeted against India. We had contracts for decades actually during like the 90s after the Soviet epoch. So this cooperation was since like many years before. But I believe that cooperation with India, and why I'm here actually, is to make Ukraine and India closer to each other. And we also have different suggestions in the military field, and I brought these suggestions on behalf of my president, and I hope that India will consider these suggestions, and that at the end of the day, let us overcome the pages of history and build up a new history of our bilateral relations.
Now, in February 2023, Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf lawmaker Dr. Zarqa Suharwadi raised questions in the Senate, the upper house of Pakistan, about the air bridges and weapons supply to Ukraine. But the Defense Ministry of Pakistan failed to respond.
सुना है सर कि यूक्रेन हमारे जहाज जा रहे हैं, पाकिस्तान ऑर्डिनेंस फैक्ट्री के हमारे असलहा वहां जा रहा है। अभी 2 दिन पहले हमारे जो बिलावल भुट्टो जरदारी साहब हैं बड़े अदब के साथ, और जो हिना रबानी खर साहिबा हैं, इनकी म्यूनिख में जर्मनी में मुलाकात हुई है यूक्रेन के फॉरेन मिनिस्टर से। मुझे नहीं पता सर वहां क्या बात हुई, लेकिन हमारा सवाल है, क्योंकि जहाज़ों की फोटोज भी सबने देखी हैं, तो ये क्या हो रहा है? और अगर उसके एवज पैसे लिए जा रहे हैं, वो पैसे किसकी जेब में जा रहे हैं? सर, हमें वो अपने स्टेट बैंक में पैसे चाहिए, और हमारी फॉरेन पॉलिसी क्या है? सब्र करें, सब्र करें।
So the question Dr. Zarqa is asking is, the pictures are out. What's the size of the deal and whose pocket is this money going into? Because it's not coming into the state coffers. That's what she's asking. Joining us now is Mr. Volodymyr Ariev, MP with the Ukrainian Parliament. Mr. Ariev, thank you for speaking with us here at CNN News 18. We've got information about Pakistan using air bridges to supply weapons to Ukraine in this conflict with Russia. Do you confirm, deny any of these developments? We are given to understand that Britain contracted Pakistan to make weapons in Pakistan's ordnance factory. And these rockets, these weapons were supposed to be used or supplied to the Ukrainian military.
Well, Ukraine is quite transparent about the sources who supply Ukraine with the weapon or other ammunition, and what I can clearly say that Pakistan is not in the list, and I don't have any information. I haven't seen from the top commanders of Ukrainian army or Minister of Defense that we get the ammunition of Pakistan or have any contract with Pakistan producers of the weapon. Moreover, I would like to stress out that in case if Pakistan sending Ukraine to Ukraine the weapon, it cannot get any preferences from Russian Federation. But 4 days ago, Pakistan got the first cheap oil by new contracts with Moscow. That seems impossible if Moscow knows and informed about direct or with the third-hand supply of Ukrainian army with ammunition or clothes, etc.
Right.
So I do believe that this is a kind of information war that going on, and finally we have what I'm clearly seen by my own eyes, and I know that the shells, the ammunition were manufactured finally in the Western
So
factories,
122
especially in the
mm
United
projectiles.
States, what I've
Mr. Arya, 122 mm projectiles have been found with POF markings or Pakistan Ordnance Factory markings. But Mr. Arya, the British government has actually signed a contract with Pakistan in December 2022 to manufacture more than 340,000 projectiles, rockets without that's worth about $500 million, and this is for supply to the Ukrainian armed forces. Are you aware of this?
I do believe that it's international rules on the weapon market that re-export is possible only if a country has a permit from the state who sold the ammunition. So I think that this is a compensation for United Kingdom, which provides Ukraine by the ammunition it has. And I don't heard any permission from the Islamabad about
Mr. Ariev,
transfer of any Pakistan.
But Mr. Ariev,
to Ukraine.
in your own wisdom, won't you see it as a dangerous double game? On the one hand, they're taking contracts from allies of Ukraine, NATO forces, and on the other hand, they are buying oil from Russia and cozying up to the Russians while officially maintaining neutrality.
Well, I really don't have any confirmation that any kind of weapon were transferred from Romania to Ukraine, as well as the bridge for supplying Ukraine by weapon and ammunition is not laced via Romania.
Right.
So I think that probably that if in a case if it exists, so probably this is a stop when Romania, as a NATO state, had a contract for interior NATO needs, as well as NATO provides not NATO but countries who are members of NATO. Directly provides Ukraine with the weapon produced in the states of coalition, like in the United States, in Bulgaria, and as well. So we, for a moment, don't need Pakistan ammunition, and I don't believe that
Mr. Ariev, Ukraine may not be directly buying, but if those who are helping Ukraine, NATO and entities who are using these nations as routes, we have confirmation that there was an air bridge that was created between the 6th and the 15th of August 2022, and that air bridge was from the Noor Khan Air Base in Rawalpindi to a British base in Mediterranean, and eventually to Romania, into Romania. Now, this is what sources have told us, that this did happen. And Britain then, like I said, has actually entered into a further $500 million contract in December 2022. Meanwhile, you say you have confirmation that Pakistan bought oil from Russia. So isn't that a double game, sir?
I don't hear. Well, the fact is clear that it could be manipulation of and speculation about the final destination of the ammunition. But what I clearly know that there were, as well as we have no storages in Ukraine, because all ammo goes directly to the front, and then from on the front line, our troops shelling over Russian army.
Right.
So no trail of Pakistan weapon was
But
found.
this is what reports are saying.
By Russian troops. Otherwise, it will be a big scandal and no cooperation.
So you are saying no weapon systems or weapons made in the Pakistan Ordnance Factory has been found in Ukrainian arsenal, or which Ukrainian military is using, but reports are saying that 122 mm HE artillery projectiles made by Pakistani ordnance factories were spotted being used by Ukrainian artillery men. That's what reports are saying. So there seems to be a difference, a variance in positions there.
Well, so that's what I've said. That it's the fact is that the deepening of cooperation of Russia and Pakistan should be possible if Ukraine being supplied by Pakistan made ammunition.
Well, Mr. Volodymyr Ariev, thank you for your time. Thank you for speaking with us. Let me take this across to our other panelists who are joining us now. We have Ambassador Rajiv Dogra, former diplomat, joining us live. Qamar Chima, strategic and political analyst, joining us from Pakistan. But first, I'm going to go to Gleb Makarovich, who's a Russian journalist. Gleb, let me ask you. You just heard the Ukrainian MP who says we have no direct dealings with Pakistan. But there are clear reports which suggest that Pakistan is making ordnance upon contract from NATO entities, and their weapons are weapons made in the Pakistan Ordnance Factory are being used by Ukrainian artillerymen. On the other hand, Russia is selling cheap oil to Pakistan.
Yeah, so the fact is we don't need any confirmation on these weapons, because all the information is clear. It's photos from Telegram channels affiliated to Russian army or Russian volunteers from, let's say, Wagner Group, that Ukrainians use Pakistan artillery. So I don't see any contradictions, because I think that Pakistan army is inclined towards the West. Pakistan army wants to bolster its ties with the West, and despite the fact it does not confirm that they deliver arms to Ukraine, they could not refuse to Western partners. That is why Pakistan is, to some extent, is involved in the conflict, because it had no way but to give those weapons. What about Doublegame? That's, not a surprise at all for all Pakistan's observers in Russia and South Asian observers in Russia. We know that there are many centers of decision-making in Pakistan, and nowadays civilian government wants Russia to sell cheap oil, and Pakistan army wants to bolster ties with the West. There is nothing new, and I don't think that we need any kind of information. It's all clear. It could be found wherever you want.
So you're saying everybody knows of this double game, that there are two different levels of decision making. But if there is money being made by making ordnance, Qamar Chima, I think Zarkaji had a fair point. Why isn't it coming into the State Bank of Pakistan? Who's pocketing that money?
No, I think there are a few angles to this story. The first angle to this entire story is that you are talking of that Pakistan is going to buy the cheap oil from the Russia, and we are sending the weapons to the Ukraine. But the reality is that India imported $35 billion oil from Russia. India's dependence on Russian oil has increased by 30%. In reality, you are giving money to Russia to bomb Ukrainians. So you are a part of that plan that, yes, if the Ukrainians are being killed and the entire infrastructure is being damaged in Ukraine, you are funneling the money to the to the Russians, and you have abstained in the UN Security Council and the UN General Assembly for giving any kind of a vote to this Russian aggression. So I am unable to understand what is India's policy. The Ukrainian MP said that we don't have information. The Russian journalist says that we don't have any information of that.
No, Russian journalist says that it is confirmed. Russian journalist. See, you can try and spin it and make it about India. The story is about Pakistan, Kamar Chima. $500 million. Kamar Chima, except if the Pakistan Ordnance Factory is making weapons, $500 million is God-sent money for a parched economy like Pakistan. But where is that money? Why isn't it there with the State Bank of Pakistan?
You are giving money to Russians to bomb.
Why do you try and so you are making weapons for Ukrainians to bomb the Russians, and then you're telling the Russians to sell me oil for cheap? That's a far bigger dangerous dirty game that you are playing, Kamar Chima. Can you answer? Can you for once, sir? Can you for once on my show, Mr. Kamar Chima, please show a semblance of intelligence and answer the question which is in the syllabus of the debate. Mr. Kamar Chima, respectfully, sir, can you for once display the intelligence that you claim to have and underline the PhD that you have, and please answer the question which is the subject matter of the debate. Can you do that, Mr. Kamar Chima? I am going to ask you once again. Can you, for the sake of this debate, stay within the syllabus of the debate and not go out of syllabus, because these questions are uncomfortable for you. I am asking you, sir. I am asking you the same question asked by a member of the Senate of Pakistan. If there is a $500 million deal that's been inked, where is that $500 million? Why is it not there in the State Bank of Pakistan?
It's not worth it.
Why is it not there? Okay, Ambassador Rajiv Dogra. Okay, we've hence proved quod erat demonstrandum, a theory in mathematics which says hence proved, as is the action. Once again, Mr. Kamar Chima, the questions are uncomfortable for you and you are not in a position to answer them straight face. The question is not about India. India is not hiding the fact that it's buying oil from Russia. India is doing it because it has got to back 1/5 of the population of the country. The point is you are giving weapons to the Ukrainians to bomb the Russians and telling the Russians, you please give us oil for cheap. That's a far dirtier game that you're playing, while you're not even telling your own people that we are actually taking contracts from the West and we are making money, and it's not even reflecting in the State Bank's coffers, State Bank of Pakistan's coffers. So I want to restrict myself and come back to a semblance of sanity here. Ambassador Rajiv Dogra, why will the Russians, knowing this, sell oil? Why has this not been flagged? And can Pakistan get away with this kind of deception? When I hear Gleb say, the Russians know this, civilian government wants oil from us, army is wanting to cozy up to the West. We know it. So this deception is a given, is okay, is all right.
Even your Ukrainian guest said in a very clever way that, look, they are not sending weapons directly to Ukraine. But he did not deny that weapons were reaching Romania and, as Western media has extensively said, also Poland, where there's a large ammunition depot which has been established by Britain and USA.
Yes.
So what is happening on ground is that in reality Pakistan is not supplying weapons to Ukraine or ammunition to Ukraine. It is supplying all these things to Poland and Romania. The second thing is, since Pakistan by itself cannot manufacture anything beyond a needle, how is it that Pakistani ammunition is going there? Is it not possible that whatever Pakistan is supplying is Chinese manufacture? So Pakistan has a lot to answer, not just to the world opinion, but also to China, as to why is it diverting technology that China is giving it to manufacture ammunition to an enemy of China's ally, which is Russia. So that is the big question. The second big question is that what is Russia doing about it? Why is it selling oil to Pakistan at cheap rate when it knows its soldiers are being killed? Now, there Russia are used to being deceived by Pakistan. Please remember that Soviet Union was defeated by joint efforts of Pakistan and US via the Taliban and Al-Qaeda in the 80s. Despite that, Soviet Union, after its disintegration into 15 parts, has cozied up to Pakistan. So in a way, it is deserving what it is getting. But the bigger question that Ukrainians themselves must ask them is whether Pakistan ammunition is worth it. Is it really firing as it claims to fire? Because Pakistan ammunition, there was recently a disclosure by Mr. Hamid Mir, that General Bajwa said that our tanks cannot even fire ammunition. So if they cannot fire ammunition within Pakistan, how do you expect Pakistani shells to fire in Ukraine?
See, point is right now in Ukraine, like the Ukrainian minister said, there is no depot. Everything is being sent to the front because they will take whatever comes their way in this fight against Russia. Russia has drawn and carved out 18 to 20% of the portion which it wants to secure for itself as part of Ukraine to ensure it's got direct passage not just to Crimea but also to the warm waters of the Sea of Azov and the Black Sea. But my final question, Gleb, is why is Russia selling oil to Pakistan? Why is Russia allowing itself to get played? Because you yourself said that yes, the deal is happening with the civilian government.
So, as for me, I don't know the answer to this question, because we haven't received any details on this deal. This deal should have been signed in late March with all the details. I don't know what kind of oil should be transported to Pakistan, because its refineries cannot work with Russian oil. It was they were aimed at working with Iranian oil. I want to know through which kind of transport it should be transported. I don't know any other details concerning this deal, and it was not confirmed officially so far. But the first tranche is going to be there by late May. I hope that we will know those details. So far, I cannot answer this question because no one in this world knows the details of the deal.
So you can't answer that detail, but it does beat you.
I have many questions myself.
Yes, go ahead.
And I didn't get the answers.
You haven't got the answers yet. Let's hope we do get the answers. But one aspect is that this nation's deception stands exposed. Everybody knows what's going on, and their denial doesn't matter because the acceptance has come from multiple corners. So at least play the game straight and be upfront about what you're doing. And more importantly, if money is being made out of making ordnance, Qamar Chima, it should come to the people of Pakistan. It should not go into somewhere else. The question is, it's not reflecting in the State Bank of Pakistan. Where is that money going? That's the bigger question, which stands. So it's a factual aspect. The people of Pakistan are being played. The West is being played. The Russians are being played. Everybody knows who's playing who, but it's still happening. It's not going to last for long, sir. It's not going to last for long. I thank you very much. I thank you, Gleb, and I thank you, Qamar Chima. I have to move on.